What deck would you grab if you were to sit down on your comfy couch or in a cozy corner on your bed? I'm gonna be looking at that today for my VR to hashtag my cozy decks to Nightshade Tarot. Hi, I'm Ruby and I'm here to help you make better purchasing decisions through my tarot chats and deck reviews. I don't have a couch right now. The new one is getting in tomorrow, so we are making do in our cozy corner on my garden pillows, on my yard pillows. And we painted our wall from dark blue to this sage green color. So what makes a cozy deck? For me, it's a deck that gives me what I need when I need some comfort, when I'm in some need for comfort, gentle messaging, and that I'm also very just comfortable and cozy with. The first one that came to mind is my Good Karma Tarot. I talk about this all the time, but this is one of my favorite cozy decks that I gravitate towards when I am in need when I'm in need of some comfort, when I need a gentle deck. This is what I grab. I love the images, I love the messages that I get with this deck. It definitely doesn't just do comforting, gentle messages. It can do a lot more than that, but I don't know, it seems to know me so well. It seems to know exactly like what I need. So yeah, that is the Good Karma Tarot. And since Bear has just joined us, let's take a look at the next one, which is the Magical Dogs Tarot. So this is a deck that I don't use very often. I think the last time that I used it was when I did a reading for Bear. And I'll link that somewhere, either on the screen, probably not, probably in the description. And this is the Magical Dogs Tarot. It is so beautiful. I love looking at the little dogs on here, and they just really give me comfort. I really enjoy doing a reading with this deck, and I definitely need to keep it on my shelf soon so that I can read with it more often and do some more like gentle messaging. Like, the idea for me is that a dog is like such a loyal companion, and me having a dog, and my other one is in the crate right over there. We're crate training, puppy training her. And having a dog is just so comforting, and having someone to come home to and having someone to take care of, it's just such a wonderful thing. And just the idea of having a pet is so comforting for me. I never had any pets growing up. Well, I had like a fish or something like that, but I never had like an actual furry pet. So when I started living here, I was like, I lived here for 2 or 3 months, and then I got Bear. So he's like my first real pet, my first real dog. And I don't know, there's just something so comforting about pets, about dogs. So this is definitely like a cozy deck that if I wanna curl up with my dog and pull cards from my Magical Dogs Tarot. Another comforting deck to me is my Afro Avatar Tarot, and this is comforting to me because of all the memories that I have with watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. I didn't just watch this in my childhood, but also in my early adulthood, and like fairly recently my boyfriend and I have watched it too. And this deck is based on the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender. When I do readings with this, it doesn't like hit hard. It's very caring in energy. It's very, not necessarily super comforting, but it seems like it knows me really well, and I connect to the characters. Like here we have the Temperance card, which is I'm just blanking on the name right now. I'm still with burnout brain. Uncle Iroh, of course. Oh my god, I'm also getting distracted by my dog. Are you okay, Rosie? Rosie? She doesn't know her name yet. But I love this deck so much, and me having a connection with Avatar: Last Airbender that I have makes this a really good cozy deck. I also really like it because it is the first indie deck that I got, and I had looked up like all of the videos that there are on this deck. There aren't a lot, but I watched them all, And I even watched like a whole flip through going through all of the cards with like 3 people, like the presenter, the creator of the deck, and then like an Avatar Last Airbender expert, I guess. And I watched that like 3 or 4 times before I bought this. So there's also just a lot of memories, like even before I got this deck, but also the readings that I do with it. And I don't pull from this often, just because I do have a lot of decks. And I noticed that I'm having a hard time pulling from all of them. And for some decks like this one, it really makes me want to declutter a lot of decks and really wants to make me downsize, because this is such a cozy, comforting deck that I feel so happy about every time that I pull it. Another cozy deck that also falls in the category of my adorable decks is the Tourettes. And I recently did blue, but this is a deck full of rats, like this little rat character. He is so adorable, and again, not a deck that I pull from a lot. And this is also like, the images look very cute and like it's gonna give a really gentle message, but it doesn't necessarily always. I do feel like this deck has a little bit of sass, but sometimes when you're in that cozy space, I don't mind having a little sass, you know? As long as it's not sassy for the sake of being sassy. I really enjoy the images of this deck, and I really enjoy the messages with this deck. Again, this is not a deck that I pull from a lot. I think many of my cozy decks are not ones that I pull from a lot, just because I have like my set pair like decks that I use all the time. But this is a really good one. This is a really good one. One that's a little bit in that same vein that is strangely cozy is the Tarot of Trees. And the thing to me that makes it strange that this is comforting is that this makes me think of the environment, the state of the environment, the state of everything going up in flames, nature going up in flames, global warming, all of it. That is what this deck makes me think of, and still, this gives me a cozy feel. I think that in the midst of all of this shit, all of global warming and everything that we hear about it, and all the scary shit, I think we need some comfort, some ideas of that it could go better. I don't really know how to explain that, but I want to be more comfy. I want to be more cozy in the idea that we're gonna be okay, that there has to be something, something that has to happen before global warming takes us all, right? And that is sort of the idea for me, what I use this deck for. I use this deck either for like grounding work for myself. So if I want to feel cozy, but I'm feeling a little stressed, I can pull this deck to do like a more grounding reading on how to ground myself, because it's all trees and they're pretty grounded. But also when I do readings about nature, about global warming. So I'm looking for ways to do more readings, like political readings and news related readings. Once I get something started up with that, I'll show it on the channel. You'll see it in my community tab. But this is the deck that I gravitate towards for that, because this is like the voice of nature. And that to me is very cozy. So I think that is it. That is the best way I could explain it. The Tarot of Trees is like the voice of nature. And that in and of itself is somewhat cozy, because I feel like being in nature can be cozy. So that is the Tarot of Trees. The last of the tarot decks, and then we're going to go on to Oracle decks. This is the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. Now this is not a deck that you see in action on my channel, because this is a deck that I pull when I need some like personal messages. It doesn't always necessarily have to be like super gentle in its messaging, but it knows me so well. I've talked about this on the channel before. This is a deck that I received from one of my viewers. I'm super grateful still because I still love it. And it took this deck like such little time to truly get to know me. And I really love that. I really love that it got to know me so quickly, and that so quickly after I received this, I was able to do very personal readings with it. Like, it knows my deeper layers. I can use this to really look at not just my spirituality, but my personality, like who I am beneath the surface, if that makes sense. In that case, it's kind of like my Scorpio deck, which is interesting because I am a Scorpio rising. So it's like what is beneath the surface. And that is what this deck does really well. And that might not really come across as a typical cozy deck, but sometimes I think one of the like more cozy things that you can do is to sit on the couch with like your best friend who knows you so well, and just have conversations over tea with a comfy blanket. And that is this for me. So that is why the Intuitive Night Goddess definitely is one of my cozy decks. Okay, 2 oracle decks to go. First, the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle. I haven't used this in a while because it doesn't have like super many cards. And for a while there, I used it for pretty much all of my readings. So I felt like a lot of my readings were getting very similar using this deck, keep pulling the same cards. But overall, I think this is really beautiful. The cards are a little bit too big for my hands, for me to shuffle comfortably. But I think the messages here are very self-worth, self-love oriented, related. Like here, you have Lighthouse, don't doubt your worth. And you can see them putting on a sign that says, I am enough, or I'm always enough. So there are just a lot of really amazing messages in here that I think if I were to pull them in the beginning of a reading, that I would have a really good theme for like a cozy reading. So that is why I think the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck is a really good cozy deck. I don't think it's like very young, and well, there's like young-ish people in here, but I don't think this is like super young. I definitely feel like I can still relate to it. I'm getting 30 this year. Actually, within 2 months, I'm turning 30. And I still relate to this deck, so that's good. But yeah, I do think it's really pretty. I don't always love the guidebook necessarily, but the cards themselves I think are really great. And the last of my cozy decks is one that is new in my collection, and it's the Finding Inner Peace Inspiration cards. And it's way deeper than I thought it would be. Oh my god, the box is horrible. There's this card holder in it, and it keeps falling out when I'm trying to get all of the cards out. But this deck has sort of affirmations, but it feels like more than that. So here we have Appreciating Myself. That is the title of the card, Appreciating Myself. And then the text underneath, so like the affirmation is, I completely know my own worth and honor and love my wonderful soul. So I think that this card talks about more than just appreciating your outer beauty. Like there's more to you than just the way that you look outwards. And of course, that also the way that you see yourself from the outside always also has impact on your feeling of self-worth. But overall, your worth is defined by so much more than just how you look on the outside. Here it says, I'm just going to repeat again, I completely know my worth and honor and love my wonderful soul. So that you are encouraged to look from beyond your outward appearance into your soul and the type of person that you are, and that you are worth so much. So I love these cards a lot. And the guidebook, even though it doesn't have a lot of information for every card, I think it has enough to get you started for like your reading. So for the card Appreciating Myself, it says, You have to truly believe in yourself because no one is going to if you don't. And you really must understand that you are a good person and you deserve to be treated with respect. Appreciate yourself and you will see great possibilities appearing in your life. So it's very short and sweet, but overall I think this is a really good deck, and it's still new in my collection, but I've been really enjoying pulling from this for myself. I'm also going to pull this for the upcoming Mindful Monday. If you're interested in that, the link is in the description down below. It's a free weekly newsletter where I share tarot messages, journal prompts, and I just encourage you to make meaningful and intentional changes in your life. So if you want to sign up for that, the link is in the description down below, as well as the link to my free tarot quick start guide. If you're new to tarot and you want to get started with reading the tarot, you can pick that up for free. If you enjoyed seeing my cozy decks, then you might also like to see my ride or die decks, and you can watch that by clicking the video on the screen right now. Subscribe if you want to see tarot chats and deck reviews, because I do that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye!